Chào các bạn đoán xem mình đang ở đâu? Mình đang ở Hồ Chí Minh với Hoa. Hoa and I are here for 10 days to work on a new project for TVO YouTube channel. I hope the project is gonna be revealed with you guys soon. Last night we went for dinner with some of our teachers in Ho Chi Minh, and after a few confusions at the restaurant, we had this very interesting conversation about the differences between Southern and Northern vocabulary. And my advice for you after that discussion is, whether you're living in the north or the south of Vietnam, stay where you are, do not move, otherwise it's gonna drive you crazy. Okay, just kidding, I'm being dramatic, but it is very confusing. You might say that there are differences in vocabulary in different areas of every single country. Big deal. That is true. However, in most cases, the differences are completely separated words that can't be confused with anything else. You have apartment in American English and flat in British English, taxi and cab, elevator and lift, cookie and biscuit, flat, cab, lift, and biscuits are not words that American people use for other things, and the same goes for British English. Sadly, that is not the case in Vietnamese. There are many words that are used in both Northern Vietnam and Southern Vietnam, but for two completely different things. And to make it even more confusing, sometimes these two different things are in the same category. Does my introduction seems a bit confusing to you? Wait until you see my list. Skinny in Northern Vietnamese is gầy, gầy. But in Southern Vietnamese, skinny is ốm, ốm. The silly thing is, ốm is also used in Northern Vietnam, but it means sick or illness. So if a northern person go to Ho Chi Minh City and hear the sentence, anh ấy ốm quá, he might think that the speaker means he's so sick instead of just he's so thin. In the South, the word that people actually use for sick is bệnh, bệnh. Cốc in Northern Vietnam is a cup or a glass, and we only use ly for a wine or a champagne glass. However, in Southern Vietnam, ly is used for everything from a mug, a cup, a glass to a wine glass. Ô in Northern Vietnam is umbrella. However, in the South, people use the word dù. But dù in Northern Vietnamese means parachute. Trêu is a verb in the North for tease, to tease someone. However, this one in the South is chọc. But Northern people use chọc for the action, the verb to pop someone with a stick or with your finger. If you're really excited, which is háo hức in Northern Vietnamese, you can say em háo hức quá. But in the South, they're gonna say em nôn quá, which is very funny because in the North, nôn means throw up. So if you hear a Southern person say that, you might be like, oh my god, are you okay? Don't throw up. But in fact, they just mean that they are very excited for something. Táo is apple. You probably know that already. But in the South, some people actually call it trái bom. And trái bom in the North means the bomb that's gonna explode. Another one about fruit. Xoài, I don't know how to translate this, but this is how it looks. It's a fruit that is quite popular in Vietnam. In the South, people call this fruit mận, mận. And this is why it gets confusing, because mận in the north has another meaning that's also a type of fruit, but it's plum. So when Hoa and I are in Saigon and we see mud, the sign for mud everywhere, we're like, oh, I really want some mud. But when we go and get some, then it actually turned out to be a completely different fruit. Do you like nem in Vietnamese? Nem giản is one of my favorite Vietnamese dish, but in the south they call it chả giò. In chả giò actually refer to another type of food in the north, which is sausage, like a type Vietnamese sausage. Hoa used to live in Ho Chi Minh City for over a year, and I still remember the funny story that she told me. She went to get some noodles one day, and on the menu there was noodles with chả giò, which in the north means the sausage. She doesn't like that at all, so she ordered a bún with no chả giò. And only after the waitress brought out that dish and she compared with the dishes of people around her, she realized that the thing that they left out is actually spring rolls, which is her favorite food in Vietnam. So I think she was pretty upset by that. And the last confusion, which is also the biggest, most ridiculous confusion in my opinion, is the difference in the name of the cutlery in the North and the South Vietnam. A plate in Northern Vietnam is đĩa, but in Southern Vietnam they call it dĩa. But dĩa in Northern Vietnam is a fork. So if you're familiar to Northern Vietnamese and then you go to the South and you want to ask for cutlery, you actually have to stop and think, okay, this is dĩa in the north, which means it is nĩa in the south. And then this is exactly what happened to me at the restaurant yesterday. I called the waitress over and I was like, can I have a nĩa? Something like that. And yeah, honestly, this is my 5th time in Ho Chi Minh City and it still drives me crazy. Does your head hurt watching this video? Don't worry, mine does as well. But even though all these differences and confusion completely fry my brain, I'm still amazed at how interesting languages can be. And that is a feeling that I hope you share with me. If you know any other confusion like this between the North and the South vocabulary, please share with me in the comments. But for now, I'm gonna go lie down to rest my head a bit, and you probably should do the same. That's it for today then, and I hope to see you next week. Tạm biệt.